Hi everyone, I'm Meteorologist Rusty McCranie, and welcome to Weather Express. Your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we have a developing storm system in the Intermountain West, which is going to bring some snow to the northern tier of the United States. Other areas with rain and storm chances as well, so we'll get right into it. You're looking at the current temperatures across the United States. As you can see from these isobars, this area of low pressure is really beginning to strengthen and tighten up in the Intermountain West. It's bringing some snow right now to places like Billings, Montana, on over towards Bismarck, North Dakota, but that's some light, fast-moving snow. The really big story is actually the wind. As that low is deepening right now over Wyoming and portions of northern Colorado and Utah, look at the winds it's bringing. 40, 50, and even 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Exceptional wind, especially the higher elevations. If you live in these areas, let us know in the comments section below, but an extremely windy day through the Intermountain West in most spots. You get back into the northern plains and the western Great Lakes, and that colder air is making a difference. You factor in those gusts, and now the feels like temperatures are below zero in most areas. This shot of snow is going to rapidly work into the Great Lakes in the Northeast tonight and overnight. I'll have more on that coming up in a second because there's multiple storms that'll be taking that same path, and it's going to be a problem with more impacts as we go over the next week or two. Right now, it's just some really light lake effect snow showers for portions of Michigan and into the snow belt of western New York. Syracuse getting some light snow, but again, it's not bad with temperatures that are mainly right now in the 20s and 30s in this area. You want to talk about a beautiful forecast, the southeast, especially down into Florida, man. After dealing with some morning fog, it's burned off. Temperatures will warm to the upper 70s and the lower 80s in most areas. Naples is up to 82 degrees. Now back into Missouri and portions of the Tennessee Valley. There's a few light showers right now, just to the south of St. Louis and Nashville getting, again, some spotty rain, kind of on the cooler side as well, with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. I do want to point out that later in the day, south of there, a few storms could develop from Atlanta and Macon, Georgia, to Columbia and Charleston, South Carolina. Now, this is not expected to be severe. This would just be some generalized shower and storm chances here later today. And then for tomorrow, as that fast-moving low tracks across the Great Lakes, the southerly winds, the warmer sector of the storm system could provide, again, generalized thunderstorm activity for places like Nashville, Tennessee, up to Columbus, Ohio. But again, it's not expected to be severe. Beautiful warm weather in Texas. Cool weather in the southern plains, a little bit of fire threat out for the panhandle of Oklahoma and the northern panhandle of Texas as well. Conditions are improving out west. The west coast system has moved inland. It's dissipated. Things are quieting down. Still some gusty winds, but as far as the overall chance for some heavier precip, it's not expected. Let's talk about how this storm is going to be playing out here. You're looking at the weather advisories currently into play. Notice the purples. The winter weather advisories go all the way from the northeast side of Oregon, just right along the northern tier of the U.S. and into the Great Lakes. So later today, places like Minneapolis, Minnesota will start to get into the snow, and it could be relatively significant in a couple of spots, winding up at around 3 to 6 inches in some areas to go along with the gustier winds. And then eventually, as we get deeper into the weekend, you start to see that snow beginning to fly in the northeast as well. So here's how it's going to play out. When we take a look at our models here, we'll start off with the HRRR model and loop this up. So again, this one system is going to bring a quick shot of snow, right? But it's not just that one. There are going to be other subsequent storms that are going to be developing here in the northern tier of the U.S. and going from west to east, and it's going to begin to pile up the snow, especially in the northeast and New England. That is going to be a problem for the next week or two, okay? So this is kind of the first, in you will, in a series of storms that I'm concerned about with how the overall totals are going to end up being. But you can see, as we get into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some snow really beginning to pick up over Minneapolis and Green Bay, and then skirting through the Great Lakes with some heavier snow potentially developing here as we get into New York, and especially back down in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, where several inches of snow could be flying there. On the warm side of this, it could be some ice for portions of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and there's that thin line of potentially strong to isolated severe storms moving back into the Tennessee Valley and the southern sides of the Ohio Valley. When we take a look at the snowfall accumulations on this HRRR model, you're going to see that swath that again extends all the way from the Cascades through the plains, the Great Lakes, and into New England. And it's actually relatively robust totals here. Just to give you an example, the HRRR is actually a little bit more robust here. You got Minneapolis at around 6 inches of snow, Green Bay maybe nearly 8 inches. It's a narrow window, but you get the idea. And then just north of Syracuse, they could be talking about a foot or snow of more. And again, this is just the first in what's going to be a very, very long line of successive storms that could bring some problems in that area. The southern plains, the south, they're going to remain dry. Friends, as you can see, I'm out of time. I appreciate you guys. If you like this content, thank you for subscribing to Weather Express. Thank you for liking this video. I'll be back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.